Yo, long time no see. Back on Master Duel for first time in a long while. Was grinding the Dice Rally event because, in case you didn't know, for those I guess that don't play it frequently, there's a bunch of bundles going on right now. They last for a while, but there was a bundle to get a bunch of canine stuff because the deck's in the game now. So it's like the field and the deck box and the coin and stuff like that. And then 20 packs with two guaranteed URs. I saw two guaranteed URs of the canine pack, and I'm like, oh, yay, because I wanted to have canine. I like the deck. I think it's cool. It's just not enough to build as its own thing, so it's usually better as just engine health. There's also this 3,000 gem bundle for two or three SRs, uh, but I was like, maybe later. There's some live twin for the box, the sleeves, the icon, and 20 packs of the set that they're in with alt arts, so it's a lot harder to actually pull the girls. There's updates to the IP Masquerena, SP Little Knight, Time Thief, S Force, and Psyframe pack, where it's the alt arts for a third alt art for IP Masquerena, and then an alt art for SP, and then there's a new card. I think it's WP. That is a pretty good card too. I've heard. Um, this is another Dark Magician one. It's the fourth anniversary pack. And then you can also just buy each of these individually. But if you spend the 3K, then you're guaranteed two URs instead of getting guaranteed two SRs. So I'll probably go for this one next just cause. Uh, but in order to get the gems I needed, there's the Dice Rally event, which you can see on the left. It says get 3,100 gems. So I'm like, okay, so if I just keep doing the Dice Rally, I'll get it. And I'm pretty much done with the Dice Rally. I've basically done all the missions. It's just play it a couple times now. I got a shiny copy of Dippity if I ever want to build Primite Fiendsmith as bad as that deck is. Uh, but I'm almost to the goal reward of Ghost Bell. So this is a nice mate. Uh, but I saved a couple recordings throughout some time. There's one from just a ranked match before Dice Rally, two in Dice Rally, and one I took just a second ago. Uh, so in the Dice Rally, they hit White Forest Azamina because the Dice Rally at this time is Fusion Synchro Link, and White Forest Azamina is a Fusion and Synchro deck. So they hit it by cutting LZ down to one and hitting Dia Bellstar and just making Dia Bellstar be banned, which really sucks for me because it's like, dang it, man, not my Dia Bellstar. So this changes the deck drastically. It's so, especially with how I build it, it's way less consistent. You'll notice half my deck is spell traps, and a lot of these cards are like triple tactic talent. I threw in foolish burial goods. Got my just one of imperm. I'm playing two copies of woes in here. I got this useless forbidden droplet, which has like never helped me. Uh, but this isn't always what my deck list for the Dice Rally looked like. My free royal card that I got during the event was this Visas Amritara, which he's pretty good. I like to use him in my personal deck because he was cheap and I could get Manadium reframing, so my deck in real life could search a counter trap. I always like to have those. Uh, but what I'm building towards is Archmage Canine. You've most likely, if you follow Yu-Gi-Oh! Spaces, heard about this a ton from people like Distant Coder or other people that have seen success with it. However, his variant of the deck is all about using Canine to get Droll protection and using Canine to build up so much board presence that you can link four monsters away off for a Saryuja to get a format Saryuja to draw four cards and put three cards back, and then you can special summon a card from hand if needed. Um, but I didn't like that because in his most recent video, as of me recording this, the Saryuja didn't work. Like, he had to, like, it only drew him the Power Patron Owl, and that was it. So he had to special the Power Patron and then tribute his whole board to get Nerva to trade what would have been Ripper with Force Release and some art mage stuff for just art mage stuff. I would rather do my idea, which is there is a 1.5 card combo that lets you bridge from Canine into art mage. And all it requires you to do is play 2 cards in extra deck and 1 card in main deck. That's it. So, at the cost of running a quote brick, then and 2 cards in extra deck, then you lose out, or then you gain the ability to bridge your canine into Archmage. How do you do this? Well, technically speaking, you can do it without your normal summon by doing Joe Cool with a 5, and that works. But you can do it with your normal summon of Noroi, because Noroi lets you summon a canine that isn't Noroi from your deck when you normal summon him, and he has the same effect they all do. If they have 2 or more cards in their hand, you can normal summon this without tributing. So what you normally summon is Joe Cool, and then go for Ripper to get more cards until you can end up with a board that is Ripper, a Joe-Cool, a Lantern, an Izuna, and a Noroi on field. And then you exceeds 2 of them that aren't Noroi into Riverstormer, which can search for Planet Pathfinder, and then link the Noroi and the Riverstormer off for Platinum Gadget, which then special summons the Planet Pathfinder, which you tribute to get Archmage Academic Arcane Arts Acropolis. You can then tribute the Platinum Gadget with the Riverstormer, since he can't be used as link material, and just put him into an SP Little Knight. Pretty generic, fine card. You can also do a IP Masquerena instead, since that would work too. I just have some tight deck space given what I play, so it's a little bit more hesitant to do that. I'm playing as my interruption cards with the Izuna Lupus line. I have Nash Knight, and then I got the 1 target in here to activate it once, and then I'm playing Jax as the main one too. I'm playing T-Ross because he can't be destroyed by card effects, and if you make him with Lupus, he can't be killed by card effects, which means you can go to battle phase and smack into something in defense position, and he gets to target a card and destroy it too. And he's untargetable and can't be killed by card effects. And then you can rank him up into Zeus and have an untargetable Zeus with Lupus, and then just board wipe. Pretty nice. But I got to thinking, once I eventually got all the cards, I was insanely lucky. Like, God blessed my pulls because I got both copies of Jokul, 1 Izuna, 2 Ripper, and a Werewolf, and I think both Case for Canines just from pulls. I had to craft 2 copies of Izuna still, but hey, I don't care. This deck is as UR intensive as it is, and I'm still a ways away from getting it, but I'm closer, and that's all that matters now. But it got me thinking about my White Forest list, because if you didn't know, this was the deck I was running. Although it's been a bit changed now, so I can show off. This was the original goal of the deck, I should say, was this build. And my main deck is pretty much just completed, but the extra deck is missing Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, a second Vengeance Dragon, and Fable the Visible, who I would make very often in my matches on Omega. But I didn't want to put the URs into this because a lot of times I wasn't getting. If I was at a point where I needed to make another 12, I could probably do something with Azamina. If I was at a point where I could make another 10, I could probably just make a Chaos Angel. And the only time I can do this is if I can use Poplar to put 2 names in the back, but that's like never good, because if I'm putting Poplar into the, or 2 names into the back, that means my Sylvie and Rusha can't trigger most likely, because either I'm putting them there or putting targets there, or my LZ is stranded there, and now I can't get her back on my opponent's turn. So instead, I just finished off the Artmate, or the Azamina package, and I bit the bullet, and then I crafted Moa Regina, which I never really cared about this card before, so I was hesitant, but did it. Got Guardian Chimera, finally, and then I made Azamina, just straight up. So I was like, okay, hopefully this is fine. So in Dice Rally, that's what I started using. Now, I'm going to show you some games. I've been yapping long enough, so I might as well get to them. Once again, first replay is going to be just a ranked game. These two are from the Dice Rally. This one's more of a me figuring something out, and then this one's an actual game. And then this one's also an actual game that I managed to win, and there's some pretty funny parts to it as well. Uh, my opponent in this one was playing pure live twin. Like, it is just three of every name plus a buttload of hand traps. Which, I mean, yeah, live twin draws cards a lot, so that makes sense. And then they got a Bawaku, Underworld Goddess, and some other generic Link stuff. My deck, on the other hand, was not as good. This was my budget version of the deck. I wanted to get the main deck pimped out first. If there was any change I would make to this list, it'd be I really wish I could just have three toy box and one soldier instead of three soldier and one toy box, but oh well. And then I was still playing two copies of Mover Cielago and two copies of Saint Azamina because I didn't have anything else. So I was also, oh, I didn't even have a couple other things, so I was doubled up on a bunch of the names. Let's get it going. Unfortunately, I lost the die roll, or not die roll, the coin toss for this one. So they made me go second. But, I mean, the board they put up was, I would say it's good. It's just, we're both playing rogue decks. So, their board wasn't going to beat like a full power K9 or like a full, like Draco Tail branded deck, but it's good enough for rogue stuff. So they go the live twin spell for the continuous. They grab treat. I'm like, huh, they're not grabbing the negate prevention one. They just start farting monsters onto the board, like, good heavens. So they use the two special twins to make IP. Then they use live twin Kiss a Kill to go into Kiss a Kill deal. So if I did have interaction with them, and they draw a card every time now, but I don't have hand traps in my hand, and even when I do play hand traps, I don't like doing them. I hate them so much. So now we get the live twin revive, go into evil twin Lila, and they got all the alt arts too. Even the IP is an alt art. Revive their Kiss a Kill to draw them a card. Link into Trouble Sunny. I'm like, okay, pretty good board. I figured they were done. Then they go Tribute. I'm like, why are you doing that now? What's the point of that? That's weird. And then they link them off again. I'm like, you just making a second one? No, they're making a Bawaku. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. So you can discard a card to banish yourself until the end phase to summon a light or dark. So now, instead of having just this board, she also has a pop. So she has an unknown. This will summon back both twins, which gets her a draw and a pop. This is a pop, and this quick links into something. We top deck Imperm, so I'm like, alright, I'm shotgunning this on IP. I don't want to have to deal with that. Then we go Wanted, just to play around Joel. Get the Abel Star. They get to draw a card because I added a card to my hand. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, I don't care. I send my Diabell Star Vengeance with Diabell Star. And you'd think I'd set Deception or something. But if I do, that's kind of useless. So they're going to chain to my Diabell Star, which I'm like, okay, you're just going to pop whatever I set. So I know exactly what I'm playing. This is why we play Subversion. Because you can set it off Diabell Star, and now she's going to draw a card and pop a Diabell Star. But if she doesn't pop Subversion, I get a free Subversion. So I get to remove one of these interactions. So they use their Bawaku effect to destroy a card on field. Doesn't target, by the way. Pretty cool. And now my board's empty. They draw a card. I'm like, okay, well, they can't negate this. I think I got this. So we get Field Spell for LZ, send the Woes, grab Sylvie. And because we use Field Spell, no more Azamina from extra deck. Woes will set itself. Sylvie effect will add us a copy of Beware. I wanted to get this to, like, hit this, because I was worried about it. We go into the Reclea. And we're gonna Reclea send the Tails to grab Big Diabells. Tails goes to grave, comes back. We get Azamina LZ. I decide to go for this now, so I can get the card pop and get some value off of it, so send that, it gets to come back, and then we get to send a Simple Spoils or Diabell. We already have Vengeance in the grave, but hey, it doesn't hurt. Send Curse, grab Philia, activate Philia, let's grab a second copy of Diabells just for safety. Go Beware the White Forest to get rid of that. It was a bluff. Oh, they should not have bluffed this, by the way. That was their one mistake. Go Azamina Elzette. Summon Diabell, Queen of the White Forest. Azamina 1. Diabell 2. Get back Simple Spoils. So we got Simple Spoils. We get Deception. Go this to push back their Evil Twin Lilla so they can't summon both again. They have to make another one from extra. Vanish, summon Diabell Star Vengeance. I go Philia Diabell to buff them. I pop their Evil Twin. I summon my Reclea so I can go for game. And they nib me. I'm like, oh, okay. I think I still have this in the bag then. We go Sylvie, shuffle back the Reclea. Keep her on board. We're going to just draw a card with the Wanted, just see what we get. Maybe it might help. Second copy of this is fine. Tribute it off. Grab Debtors, because we can't go into the extra deck for Darks. Just pass. So at least we have access to our Azamina stuff, and we have a quick synchro. So they're going to banish, so they can send, and then send a card on field. So I chain the Debtors, and summon Azamina Illusilda, so that they're forced to send her, so they don't have to deal with the negate. Like, I know that doing this is going to make them send the Ilya Sylvia, so we're good. They normal summon Kill, and I play Woes, so I get to go into a Stellar and get Silvera. Silvera send all of them face down, and because I play Elzette, I get to have Elzette back. Silvera books them. They don't even flip up the Nibiru to go punch, because if they get hit by this Primal Being token, it might kill them. So I shuffle back Diabell Queen to summon out Sylvie. Draw another Elzette, it's fine. We go Azamina Debtors to immediately get Ilya Sylvia back. Great card. Go Deception. Tribute our Elzette for Hollowed. They go Droll, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's fine. You lose some life, I gain some life. We summon Elzette with normal summon, and synchro summon Diabell Queen. Diabell Queen gets us back our Beware. I could have just gotten back Woes. Beware pops a card. I have my Diabell's the White Witch to send the field spell I don't need anymore. Summon out the Vengeance. And this is Uber Game on board. So I'll kill them with the own token they gave me. I think I did really good. Well, I had to play through, what was it, 2 pops and a quick link, plus whatever hand traps they drew. And if it wasn't for that Imperm, I don't think I could have done it, so that was nice. I believe this match, my opponent is, I would call it a slop deck. It's using the Toy Box package as a draw engine, I guess, and then making link material fodder so that they can do Fiendsmith stuff, and also have Predaplant Verte Anaconda to just shotgun a Dragoon. And they also have the ability to make Dragon Master Magia as well. But I wanted to save this because I believe it's in this game I made a discovery that changed the way I thought about this deck since. Like, them banning regular Diabell Star for the event made me change what I do for this deck, and I feel like I found a better method. So they had Tierra. By the way, everything you're about to see, I did with 150 seconds. This deck eats time like nothing. So, like, even me knowing what I'm doing, I'm having internet issues. So, I'm having to battle losing seconds with lag with long, complicated combos that also have constant, like, do you want to do this effect in the graveyard when I don't want to do it yet. Opening hand's really good. We got Elzette and Sylvia already with Woes, so even if we get interrupted on our Elzette, we have gameplay still. So we can go Elzette, send Woes, search Elzette Azamina. Woes can set itself back. We normal summon the Sylvie to get the tails. Synchro into Reclea. Reclea to send the tails. Grab the field spell so we can get access to the big Diabells. The Tails set itself. We go LZ Azamina to make our queen. LZ Azamina to get our Deception. We go Tails. We get a Stellar. I just want to get her engraved. So we tribute the Stellar. Grab Hollowed. Go Hollowed for Murcielago. With this, we grab the Fusion spell, because I can use Hollowed to target my LZ Azamina in the grave, to get back the Azamina card still, do it, and chain to Fusion Summon. What am I Fusion Summoning? Well, using my Illusion and Illusion that are Synchro and Fusion, we make Saint Azamina just straight up with a Fusion Summon. We send this for Ilia Sylvia. Then using Saint Azamina, we get Moa Regina. And with Moa Regina, we get back the Queen Diabell. It's like she never left. Now we can activate the Witch that we searched and get Diabell's the White Witch. Send the field spell, don't need it no more. Diabell's, send Curse. Curse, add Philia. Philia, add Vengeance. By the way, if you didn't know, if you activate Philia and only your opponent has a monster, you can just straight up summon it instead of having to send a card. So that's good if you don't really have anything to send off of Diabell's. Then end phase, we triggered the Deception to set itself, and because a single Swells card was activated, we can chain Mo Regina to pop up to 2. So goodbye to their big Tiara. So this board that we have now, the opponent no longer can target any of their cards, and they can't target Saint Azamina. We have the Omni Negate with Ilia Sylvia. At any point, if we activate a card or effect that is an Azamina or a Simple Spoils, we can also pop 2 cards on board. If our opponent activates a card effect, we can send one of our back rows to summon Silvera real quickly to quick effect Book of Eclipse the opponent. And then Diabell's is giving my entire monster side of the board a card effect Destruction Protection, and Diabell's Star Vengeance is a pop that can also summon Silvera, or can summon Snake Eyes or Poplar of the White Forest to go into Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. Plus we have the woes we started with, so if our board gets cleared a bit more, we can shuffle back something for Sylvie, and then quick sync into another Silvera again, and then we happen to naturally open Forbidden Droplet. And Ash. So I use Ash to get rid of this Fiendsmith Tract. They chain their Droplet to send both that and Toy Soldier. I'm like, oh, is this the mirror? Dope. So when I see them send 2, I'm like, okay, I think their best targets for this then is Ilia Sylvia, so that she doesn't do anything. And I was like, I don't really know what the best one else is besides this. I'm like, it's probably Vengeance or Moa. I'd bet my money on Moa. And they were right. They picked Ilia Sylvia and Moa, and I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm glad I made the right call. So they're Toy Soldier triggers. I purposely do Ilia Sylvia, knowing it's negated, just so I can get the board space. Oh, this is super low time, like 30 seconds. So they get the toy box. I'm like, okay. They normal summon another Toy Soldier. I'm like, oh, okay, what are you making? Verte Anaconda. Now, what I should have done is wait for them to activate this, since I have a Forbidden Droplet, so I could stop it. But I did a dumb, and I just did this early, which is... It almost came to bite me, but okay. They go Preparation of Rites to get Illusion of Chaos. So I know they have Toy Box, Illusion of Chaos. Toy Box sets them a Soldier from Grave, and a Tank from deck. Another reason it was bad, this one thankfully can't summon it, but like, you know, just do the Droplet instead, because if I change it in response, I don't think they can special summon anymore. So they go Illusion of Chaos, and they have one unknown, because they put back the Illusion of Chaos, presumably. They go Magician Souls, and to the effect of Magician Souls to summon itself, I chain Poplar so I can make Vengeance Dragon. So we go Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. And on summon, immediately put it back so they can't draw two and summon a guy. Last card in hand was Talents. I'm like, frick. Now, there's not really a good Talents take here, I don't think. Uh, because even if they go battle phase, it's like, okay, so if you take anything but Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon, then I just pop whatever you try and swing with. So, and then I have nothing in hand anyways. I still have this droplet. I literally forgot about it, and then I have woes too. So I still have at least two more pieces of interaction during the main phase, and then one more piece of interaction in the battle phase. They draw two. I'm like, yeah, that's a smart play, and they pass. So in the end phase, I shuffle back Poplar to summon Sylvie, just so I can get my Elzette back to my hand. Drew an Ash, which is funny. I go Deception, and then because I went Deception, I'm just going to pop the Toy Box and the Magician Souls. Definitely don't want to pop the Toy Soldier and Toy Tank. And I popped the Toy Box because if I went to attack, they could send one of the two face downs to, like, kill my monster, and then the face down would trigger to do stuff for them, which I didn't want. But yeah, seeing this match, that like, oh, instead of doing Diabellstar, I can just summon every Azamina monster, was eye-opening. Like, oh, I was because like if you do the Diabellstar line, you get the wanted draw, and you get a Diabellstar that can send one card to set Silvera. So that board, on average, when I did it, I could end on Chaos Angel just to give Light Dark Protect, so my Synchro monsters are unaffected, and none of my cards can be killed in battle. With Diabell Queen, who is protected from him, regular Diabell Star, Ilias Sylvia, and then Diabells and Diabell Star Vengeance. That board is a pop, card effect protection, battle protection, uh, an Omni Negate, and like a little bit of follow up, and then a face up card negate. Usually I can get two face up card negates because during the lead up to the combo you can also search Scourge of the White Forest and get another face up card negate. So that's two face up card negates, an Omni negate, a pop, a push to the back, a Book of Eclipse, and depending on what you have more. But this one gives me uh, the floodgate style effect from my opponent, the Moa Regina double pop, the Ilya Sylvia negate. Funnily enough, you can actually use Azamina, like the fusion monster that's a 12 star. It has that like floodgate effect where monsters your opponent controls with zero attack can't activate their effects. If you make the full Azamina board and then just have Mu Murcielago still on field, you just kind of get to do whatever you want because it syncs all of their monsters by 2000 just by default. So that's pretty good. This next match is an actual game. I wanted to show off my deck real quick. This is what the deck looks like now with the cards I added. So much more consistent this way. This version of the deck has plenty of room still because it's playing two Silvera, two Reclea. It's still playing Visas. So like 3 card space is the extra deck changes, and then swapping out 2 of these for Toy Box would be nice. And then a bunch of other garbage I'm playing in here, like Talons and Forbidden Droplet. Uh, Enough yapping. Onto this one. I want to make sure I'm not running out of time, so I gotta go faster with these. Oh man, this is gonna be one son of a gun to edit later. Oh wait, I really hope I have the PlayStation editing software still. So we won the coin toss. I had bought the pack by this point, so now we get to have the good music. So they got Bunny Ear Enthusiast, which my board is going to be awful for this match because I tried my hardest to play around this since this is technically an interruption. Once per chain, you have to do it in response to a monster activating on field. You put a counter on that monster, and then you can target a monster with a counter, and then banish this card and that one until the standby phase. That interruption matters to me, so I'm like, crap, I gotta get rid of it. So I'm going to do the Diabelle's line first, which I rarely ever do this. I much prefer to keep Diabelle's as the last thing I do, so that I can get Ilya Sylvia, because once I get Ilya Sylvia, it's safe. But before I get Ilya Sylvia, if my board gets Nibiru'd, I lose. Like, there's nothing I can do if I get Nibiru'd, so I like to wait. So we go Toy Box, or we go Philia Diabelle first. Go Diabelle Star Vengeance. Get the buff, and I'm just going to chain it now to pop and destroy. They didn't even bother chaining it, because it's like, yeah, there's no point. So I get Silvera, and if I had a Barone here, because that's legal, then I could make Barone for some protection. And then I make a mistake, but I was like, ah, whatever, because I banished my Chaos Angel, but it doesn't matter. Go Sylvie, normal summon, get Tails. I have Rushia in hand. Rushia, send the Tails just to draw a card. We get another Diabelle's. Set it. Activate it. Grab LZ. Made another mistake here. I didn't activate Toy Box, so I'm like, okay, I'll just send Droplet. Again, didn't activate Toy Box, so that's another mistake. It's like, geez Louise, man. So I use this to get Simple Spoils of the White Forest. So I go LZ Azamina, and I fusion summon with the Rusio on board and the Diabelle's to just make Ilya Sylvian now for protection. Link these two, or synchro these two for Queen. Go this and Queen. I'll get back that Toy Box. Toy Box to hand, Deception to hand, Deception on board, shuffle back the Silvera to tribute my Rushia for Deception, get the Hollowed, Hollowed sending Deception for Rusialago, Rusialago add Silvera, since I have a Diabelle Star, this shuffle back the Azet Azamina, Hollowed effect, chain Simple Spoils of the White Forest, go for Saint Azamina, summon out Moa Regina, and Moa Regina get back Queen. You'll notice, even with me making so many mistakes, the board is still great. Like, the board is just the same board we try to get anyways. And then I can go Toy Box, and just, we're using this as follow-up and protection for next turn. In end phase, we get back the Deception, and this Silvera is nice because if your opponent does something in response to a Diabelle Star or a Simple Spoils card, then you can negate that, which is really helpful. So the opponent goes, its main phase, and they go Super Polymerization, pitching Archmage Power Patron. I'm like, oh, so not only is it Archmage, I'm getting Super Poly for my life savings. Crap. So they send off my Ilya Sylvia negate and my Saint Azamina. The Saint Azamina getting sent doesn't make as much sense to me, because it's like, you don't target your own cards, I guess? So that's a bit weird, but alright, whatever. I think they just needed it because they wanted Dragos Tapelia and they needed the Dark. But they could have done Moa Regina. So Archmage Power Patron gets them Alteration. They drew Field Spell already. They go Alteration to search a card. And they get Finmill. So I'm like, okay, I now have to play around the fact that if they ever get 3 monsters on board, I lose because Finmill can negate everything on my field. So now the game becomes, kill them now. So they go Litera in hand, which I'm like, oh, even better. So they go Litera to get back the Alteration. I'm like, okay, I need to do this now. So I do on a new chain Diabelle Star Vengeance to pop Dragos Tapelia, knowing that this will force the Dragos Tapelia to activate targeting the Vengeance. Now I can use Silvera in Grave because he chained it to negate. And because he didn't have anything to chain, I can now do Moa Regina to pop his Litera and to pop his Field Spell. So both these get popped. This negates that. This is negated. And then Vengeance pops, summons Poplar. They have Archmage Vandalism like crap, because now this gives them an Archmage card face up on field, and they have Medius for a normal summon. So they go Medius to hand. Now they have an Archmage card. I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I'm prepped. So I synchro these for Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. So they have Graflare. So their hand is I forgot the name of it already. Their hand is Alteration, Findmel, Medius, and then they have Graflare that they summoned, and now they set Field Spell again. It's like, okay, darn. They go Field Spell, they go Findmel, and in response to Findmel, I send Toy Soldier specifically, so now I can summon the Silvera I put back. So they summon Findmel and draw a card. Elzet is going to trigger to come back, and Toy Soldier is going to trigger to summon, and Silvera is going to trigger to flip their whole board face down. So face down, Toy Soldier summon, Elzet to my hand. Toy Soldier effect, get me a copy of Sylvie for next turn. They drew Hawkbeast Feather Duster, which I'm like, ah, dang it. So there goes Toy Box forever, and there goes my Deception forever. They use the extra normal summon for Medius, and on the normal summon of Medius, I decide to put it into the back row, because I'm like, okay, so they're going to get Power Patron, but Deoctorus requires Medius. So I was like, okay, I'll get rid of Deoctorus. Because I was thinking, like, okay, if I don't get rid of Deoctorus, then they summon Deoctorus, and they use Deoctorus' effect to flip the Findmel back up, and Findmel can negate my board. So now they get Archmage Power Patron, after I push this into the back, and the Power Patron can still fusion summon. So now we know that the last card in their hand is Alteration, and then they have Graflare, Findmel, this. So they can make a copy of Nerva, but I don't know if they want to do that this turn. They send the Alteration for the battle phase ender. Oh wait, no, it's just a negate attack. And they normal summon Littera. We draw for turn, we get woes. I threaten battle phase to force out the Nerva interaction. And they go for Nerva the Power Patron of Creation. They go this, and I let them... I don't chain anything, because I know what's going to happen. They chain Nerva to make that Power Patron search become destroy all cards your opponent controls. I have Diabelle's the White Witch. No cards can be killed by card effect. So they use Littera to get back Findmel, but because Littera puts herself back, this Findmel just kind of sits here doing nothing. So I can use Rusia to put back Diabelle Queen, and yeah, that's kind of it. I was going to use the Soldier and the Rusia to make Diabelle Queen again, and then I could use Moa Regina to get back my copy of Saint Azamina, and then use Saint Azamina and their Nerva to make a copy of Azamina and just punch them. It would have been amazing. Plus, I'll be chaining cards and stuff, so I'll be able to pop their field spell and their face-up copy of that other Archmage card that gets the Medius. Their deck was, like, honestly, I think their deck's really good. It's just pure Archmage, and I gotta respect that, because I think, much like Disencoder, I think Archmage is a cool deck. I really wish people played it in more copies, like this person. This person's playing 3 of every name besides Findmel. Yes, do this! When we play decks, we play the deck cards! I'm tired of it, of being like, oh no, I'm playing a canine deck, and they got 4 monsters in deck. Like, oh yeah, that's a real cool canine deck you got there. But now, we get to the most recent duel. This was a ranked match, I did just recently. My opponent is on, it's Live Twin Fiendsmith. And, you know, once again, it's a bunch of the Live Twin names, and then a whole bunch of hand traps. Just, whoo boy, so many hand traps. But, you know, it's pretty standard. I really like that they're playing Gorgon of Zilothonio, because I think this card's really cool. It just doesn't really get to see play that much, unfortunately. But my deck is something I came up with when I was playing, and I realized, man, I was like, I wish I could use Canine in my Azamina deck. Because beforehand, when I used Canine, I was using it just because, like, oh, you can use Canine to get, like, Izuna as follow-up and stuff, and then send the spell because you don't need it anymore. But then I realized, No, there's a way to bridge from Canine into White Forest, and it's thanks to our pal Planet Pathfinder. So, for those of you who like this sort of gameplay like I do, this is the deck I'm currently running. You have to make a lot of concessions. If you're going to do this, your Canine package is just going to be for two purposes. Canine Ripper is your draw protection and other hand trap protection. Jax is your target if you're going second and you get Izuna Lupus online. Werewolf is here because you are going to play Force Release if you're playing Canine. Platinum Gadget you need for the combo, Riverstorm you need for the combo. You have to play one of each of these, but you don't get Vengeance Dragon. That's the really big kicker. This doesn't have space for Vengeance Dragon, so honestly you could probably kick Poplar of the White Forest, and that gives you one space. That's it. Not much, but it's a concession to make. This means that the Diabells and Vengeance line is a lot weaker now, but it's a concession to make. And then the extra deck for the Azamina portion is the same, just minus the just straight up Azamina. This deck gets to play Diabell Star, so you still have that line access as well. But the combo is from just K904 Noroi, go K904 Noroi, normal summon, activate the effect, summon Jokul. Now, you can't do this combo to get into White Forest without getting protection. Well, you have to do it without draw protection. Because if you try and do this without searching, it's not going to work. So you have to go Noroi to summon Jokul, and then Jokul you have to use the effect to get a copy of Lantern. Then you overlay the Jokul and the Noroi to make Ripper, and then use the Ripper to get yourself a copy of Jokul again. And you have to make sure that you detach Noroi specifically. You then have to use the Lantern to summon back Noroi, and use Lantern to get Case for Canine. Then Case for Canine to get a copy of Izuna. Then Jokul and Izuna, using Jokul onto the board, Izuna send Lupus. You can use Noroi to look at your opponent's hand by sending Case for Canine, but it's a little bit better if you save it. You can then overlay the Jokul and the Izuna for a copy of Riverstormer. Riverstormer detaches either of them, doesn't matter, to grab Planet Pathfinder. Link Planet Pathfinder and Noroi for Platinum Gadget. Platinum Gadget uses effect to summon Planet Pathfinder. Planet Pathfinder Tribute to get Witch of the White Forest. Witch of the White Forest activates to get you Elzet of the White Forest. So that combo bridges you into this, and it gives man, I can't speak today. It gives you White Forest, but you no longer will have your normal summon. So, but because of this, you get Elzet of the White Forest, which is an insanely good card, because you can send your field spell to get a copy of Rusia, and then Rusia can summon, and then you can go Rusia and Elzet for Reclea. And then, if you didn't send Case for Canine, or if you just happen to have White Forest cards for spell traps in your hand, you can send the Case for Canine with the Reclea to go get Elzet Azamina. And then you can special summon, or get Tails maybe, and then get Tails for Elzet Azamina. Elzet Azamina summon herself, synchro into Diabell Queen, and then use this to get the copy of Deception, and then use Deception, tributing a Rusia that you summon back after recycling Reclea, not for Hollowed, but for Debtors. So this leaves you with a Lantern on board, with a copy of Platinum Gadget that you contribute this for to turn it into a link to, like SP. So if you take this card out, I'd put SP in it. I believe there is one card I do want to check, because technically speaking, it's a way for you to get a normal summon if it works the way I think it does, but if not, it's fine. Because I think if you played Nightmare Goblin, would that give you a normal summon? Nightmare Nightmare Goblin. If it's link summoned during your turn, you can discard a card. If it was co-linked, you can draw a card. Also during your main phase, normals. Oh, so you have to summon it to this zone. Got it. Okay. So this wouldn't work unless you link off the LZ, I suppose. But it is a card you can put in this slot. I'm actually gonna use this time to throw in that SP Little Knight I know I need. Boom. But yeah, so that board gives you the Diabol Queen, it gives you a Ripper, and you can probably get a Force Release out of it too if your opponent most likely interacts with you. So that gets you Werewolf as well. And then you have a copy of Deception ready to send off debtors to make Ilya Sylvia. So that's another thing too. And again, that's all off of one copy of Noroi. Just a single copy of Noroi, ignoring every other card in your hand. You can bridge perfectly into White Forest and have a White Forest with Amelia Sylvia at the ready. That's so cool! Unfortunately, I didn't get to do it in this game. That final game of the night. We unfortunately went second. You'll notice it's 2 turns. That's all I needed, baby. This match was one of the most fun matches I've had in a very long time. Uh, Granted, I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh much because multitudes of reasons. Uh, but at least on Master Duel, this is some of the most fun I've had in my life. So, we have no hand traps. Oh, in case you didn't notice from the deck list, this deck doesn't play a single hand trap besides Izuna. So, could it be better? Certainly. Play hand traps if you want. I hate them. So they're doing the live twin shuffle. Just gonna make their copy of Kiss a Kill. Summon back Lilla. Make Lilla. Lilla effect. They blew up their own card, which just feels like a mistake. I think that was a misclick. They go this for Kiss a Kill deal, send the new Lilla, which is great for if you get interrupted. They get Fiend's Requiem. Now they summon back this. They want to draw their card, but before they draw, they want to make sure that they get their stuff ready. I don't know why they didn't just do the Requiem first, so that because they had Lacrum in hand. So if they had a Feed Smith that they drew, I guess it wouldn't be too bad. Link off the 2 girls for Trouble Sunny. Link off these 2 for Sequence. Sequence. Shuffle back the Fiendsmith Engraver, the Lacryma, and the Kiss a Kill Link one for Desiree. And put this equipped. So now it gets an extra attack and Sequence. I feel like it would have been better to make a copy of Agnum Day, so he's even bigger, but to each their own, I suppose. Go into Roy, and we get Ashed. And I'm like, well, I like playing... I'm going to play 2 Lantern, by the way. I think it's a great... Playing 1 Lantern in a moment like this, where it's like, it's great that I have it, but I'd rather have 2, because you like the Search Lantern for your combo. He's pretty good. But now we can go into Roy to see what they have. If you didn't see that, it's 2 more Ash Blossoms. So it's like, oh, so they had 3 Ash Blossoms in the opener. So, Lantern for Noroi. And since if they don't do something here, I just use Lantern to get Case. And they could negate it with this, but that's pretty crappy. They Tribute. They get Evil Twin Lilla. And Evil Twin Kiss a Kill. It gets summoned, so they pop the Lantern, and they draw a card. I believe the card they draw is Ghost Bell. It could be Nibiru. So we go LZ Azamina, I summon it, and I'm like, okay, this person's gonna do this the frame I do this, because if they don't do it, I get Ilya Sylvia and I can negate this whenever they try and do it. If they do it, it's like, cool, I have Rusia, so I can keep going. And this match is very funny in the sense that, like, I opened the Planet Pathfinder, so it's like, oh, not only that, I opened Planet Pathfinder and the 1 target for it. So this game's hand was garbage, but still good enough. So then I negate it. I go, okay, Rusia. Rusia effect, Synchro for Reclea. I decide to go all in. Reclea, send field spell. Go LZ for Deception. get our copy of Deception. Go LZ. They get to draw another card because of Frost. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is Ash, this is Ash, this is Ghost Belt, and this is Nibiru. Now, I didn't realize they had Ghost Spell. I would never have thought that. But because of how often it kept asking, I kept thinking, oh, they have Veiler. So all the actions you're going to see me do here are me trying to bait a freaking effect Veiler. So I'm like, okay, let's go Deception. We'll Deception tribute this useless planet Pathfinder to get Hollowed. Let's go Hollowed Azamina, get Murcielago. And now we got Murcielago. Let's sink all those attack points. Search Simple Spoils of the White Forest. Hollowed, shuffle back our Elzette. They go Ghost Bell to strand my Hollowed Azamina in the back. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Okay, that's fine. So I still know they have a Effect Veiler, so I'll just do this, and I'll force the Effect Veiler with my copy of Diabell Queen. So I reset this. I won't be able to fusion its turn, but it's fine. And now I get Diabell Queen. Let's use it to get Hollowed Azamina, and they Nibiru me. I'm like, oh, that's not a Veiler. I'm like, wait, they Nibiru me, but that means they give me a token, which doesn't matter. They get Nibiru, and I just kind of win, because I searched Diabells, and I still get to add Azamina. So they get to use their Desiree to send my Simple Spoils, but that doesn't matter, because I still got to add back Hollowed, and Diabells sends Curse. Curse adds Philia. Philia activates to add a copy of Vengeance. Then Vengeance activates to banish the Philia and the Curse. Summons, use Philia to buff them. Go Vengeance pop, and we can summon Silvera. That's game. Now, what's so funny is that had they kept the freaking continuous spell, the one that they had that I said they shouldn't have popped, it makes me lose 200 life points every time I summon, and then gain 200. I don't know how many summons I did there, but I do know, however many summons it was, they were living another turn. Now, they did have 2 Ash Blossoms in hand, which is bad for them, and I'm getting a copy of Deception of the Simple Spoils back set on my field face down, and next turn I also get Hollowed Azamina, and I still have a pop and another summon from my extra deck. But, hey, they didn't have to know that, so it's all good. But yeah, that match was so fun. I felt so cool for being able to win that. And I didn't get to show off the canine combo in it, but at least I put it verbally here. The deck is ludicrously expensive for anyone that wants to try it. You don't necessarily need 2 Ripper, but I feel like any canine build that isn't running 2 Ripper is not playing a good enough build. You don't need Woes of the White Forest, but it is very helpful. I like it in situations where I already have a certain combo in mind, and I'm like, I want to have something in case they droll me. I can't wait for the day that they take Droll out behind the shed and treat him like Lenny. But I play Woes of the White Forest solely for that, because my board's pretty much always full. Like I said, I recommend playing 2 copies of Lantern. Pretty good. Once again, still doing 2 Sylvie. Sylvie's nice as a starter-ish. You have to go Sylvie for Tails, Tails for Elzette Azamina, and go Reclea for no effect. So, it's not the best, but hey, it's something. But I think this deck is one of the coolest things I have ever built completely of my own, like, just knowledge I've gained from playing this game and watching years worth of Yu-Gi-Oh videos, that like I can finally say like, yes, I made this one and I think it's good. Like, yeah, if you're like, you don't got hand traps, but I'm sure you can make space for them. You don't need to be playing 3 copies of Diabell's the White Witch. I just am because I like it. You don't need 2 Diabell Star. One of them's fine enough. It's like, okay, you don't need 2 case for Canine. I just like to have 2 so I can search one through the combo in case I started with 1. You don't need Azamita Determination. I just really like it because you can use it to recycle your banished Simple Spoils stuff and still get more Azaminas. So, like, I could shuffle back Saint Azamina or Moa Regina using Hollowed and then fusion it again, which also lets me trigger the Wanted. And I guess necessarily, if you're playing this in like non-master duel, you don't have to play Beware the White Forest. I play this just as a in archetype way of card destruction that isn't a monster. Uh, but you don't necessarily have to. Technically speaking, you don't have to play Scourge of the White Forest either. I just think it is a very good card. Because, face-up card negates, pretty good. Uh, this deck definitely is not the best, but you know what? It's mine, and I'm happy with that. Uh, if you can come up with a better way of building this, please let me know. I'm taking suggestions. I'd like to keep it as consistent as possible, so if you could keep it under like 45 cards or under. I don't want to do like a 60 card pile because you don't even have the extra deck space for that. Because like I used to do the Elder Lich thing to get droll protection with for Rudris. That's how down bad I was playing. I checked a deck list from Omega I had from months ago, and I see triple sales ban in there to call droll. That's how much I hate that card. So just a way of playing this game is so cool, man. Anyways, if you sat here for the whole almost hour that this video is going to be, thank you. Have a great day, and remember to drink your water. I don't know about you, it's hot in this room, and I haven't had a sip of water since I started recording. So I'm gonna go do that. Bye bye.